Hey YouTube, if you just watched my case back pocket video, I apologize. The background is the same, but I will give you, let's see, something else to read on. We're going to do toucan for a minute. I'll move it around if I remember. I want to start off by apologizing. This is on to a couple of guys that I'd kind of hit pretty hard on a GEC knife that I had reviewed. You can see in the title. And I want to take that back because as I've used it, I know first impressions are a lot, but as I've used this blade, it has fast become one of my absolute favorite slip joint knives ever. And I mean, I've got a couple that I'll throw into the category of my favorite slip joints ever kind of thing. And as a matter of fact, this is a case trapper, so I'll throw that one in beside it. But I've got a couple of those that I'll consider my favorite ever, and this one here is with me every day. As a matter of fact, these two are with me no matter what I'm carrying. Usually it is the Emerson CQC 15, the mini version. Also, along with this, because I've been carrying these two smaller blades, I've been kind of playing around with the full-size models as well, which is kind of cool to be able to carry yet a bigger blade and still have, you know, my go-tos for my regular day-to-day tasks. So, enough said. I'll do a couple of comparisons. This is the GEC Conductor in the 1095. Now, I do have a couple of things I'm going to say about it. This is the case peanut right below it, and the CV steel and the peanut. I carry both of these because I think that they have two different things to offer in my mind. This here is pretty much a perfect size for EDC tasks for me. I'm not 100% on the blade size, but you can see it there. I would imagine a sub 2 inches, or sub 3 inches for sure. There's the case soldier with the can opener for full-on size. But either way, I think that this main blade is perfect for your EDC tasks. And that kind of goes with my mini trapper blade on my case. That's about the same blade size, perfect for EDC task. Sub 3 inches, right at 3 inches, something like that. This is a little small, but the steel and the blade stock is so thin, and the steel gets so sharp because of that. I mean, you can see there your blade stock. There's still, I mean, you're a little thicker here on the GEC, not by much, but because you get that extra little thinness on this blade, that sucker gets razor blade sharp. This is the main blade on the Trapper Mini. You can see there. Let me see if I can get all three of them up here. See there at the tip. All three extremely sharp blades. Great for your EDC tasks. Either way, I hit on it a little bit on one of my reviews. I listened to my review again, and I'm like, God, that sounds terrible. It sounds completely negative. I wanted to leave that up to kind of show this point as well. You guys know what I'm going to, you know, when I say this, you're going to know what I'm saying. But as you have knives, as you use knives, as your philosophies of use, to hate to use a coin term like that, but as your daily tasks change, as you grow older and all that kind of stuff, your outlooks on certain knives change as well. So that's something I've realized about myself, whereas beforehand, even a couple of months ago, I might not necessarily cared about this blade, but there was a time when I didn't care for slip joints as well either. Everything was tactical or it was nothing. I guarantee you that a Swiss Army knife was not that cool. You know what I mean? So there's things now that are totally awesome that I would love to use all the time. You know what I mean? And I've kind of changed my my views and my thought processes on it. I don't want to ramble with it, but what I do want to do is, you know, kind of let you guys know that, you know, your views can change. So my view on this one has definitely changed. I am completely 100%, and because I remembered, I told you I would do it. Background change. So if you're not paying attention to the video, this is the woodpecker. Because your views can change, therefore your total outlook on, you know, reviews can change. And even though you weren't completely negative on a review, or if you felt like you were a little negative on a review, you know, I feel like this is worth going back and saying, I'm going to buy more of these because I know GEC and I know that their patterns are kind of limited sometimes, and sometimes the overall, not honestly fit and finish, that's not the right word, but the the runs of certain ones, like in this buffalo horn. This is buffalo horn here, seems to be holding up okay, and I have soaked it in oil. The little baggy noise you heard was me pulling it out of a bag of all-in-one oil where it's been soaking for the better part of the day, trying to get some of that sheen back into that horn. So it seems to have actually worked. I'm kind of surprised by that, but it seems to have soaked up some of it. Also kind of shocked by that because I wasn't expecting it to soak up too much, but it is a natural material. I assumed it would have been stabilized slightly, you know, kind of taking away some of that soaking up ability. Either way, my outlook on this blade has changed. Definitely one of my favorite. I have those two, the case. I'm going to show you right now what is usually, now all of those knives you've just seen are in my EDC. I mean, I carry them, you know, I swap them in and out, and in and out, and in and out. This number 72 locking model of the 73, make sure I'm saying that right, yep. That's been in my EDC in a little nylon pouch on my belt. I normally wasn't ever a big fan of that, so I'm going to have to get me another kind of, you know, belt holster or something like that for this blade. But this thing is awesome. I love it to death. I will go ahead and say that I find that this case's CV steel, as comparable as 1095 as it may be, is slightly softer to 1095, which allows me to get it a little bit sharper, a little faster. So I will say that I can get my case knives a little sharper, a little keener of an edge than I can my GECs. But these blades are great. Both companies, great companies. I love Case to death. I love these GEC knives. Definitely awesome. I'm glad somebody else is I'm just glad I found them. There's been companies around, you know, Queen Cutlery, and Case has been around for a while. Victorinox. God, there's thousands of others. The charades and stuff like that have been bought out and kind of traded off and everything. But the knives have been there. I'm glad I've got back into them. You know, I'm glad that now I've kind of considered myself more of a slip joint kind of person. I do carry the Emerson blades. I can't stand. I mean, I can't not stand beside those guys. Those blades are absolutely awesome. I carry an Emerson with me every day. I sometimes carry a Spyderco with me as well. I have a Spyderco Police that I like to ride inside my waistband. And then the Emerson CQC 15, another great blade. And then my slip joints for my actual, you know, using and cutting. I do like to have a locking blade just for an emergency. Not necessarily for a tactical use, but for an emergency use. If I need to use it to get somebody free of something, if I need to honestly, you know, cut up a watermelon or cut something up that really is going to require some effort, you know, and kind of getting in there on it, I like to have a locking blade on me, just period. The majority of the time, I can get away with using a slip joint, but I've had to, you know, for just fast cutting, I've had to take the locking blade, stick in between a zip tie and cardboard to cut a bunch of zip ties off of a cable lock. They gave us new cable locks at work, so I cut it off. You know, it's kind of like that little quick stuff, you know what I mean? That I don't carry a Leatherman on me anymore or anything like that. That stays in my lunchbox with me, but I don't really carry it. So either way, apparently my son is waking up and stretching. I'm going to let you guys get back to it. I appreciate you watching. I just wanted to kind of hit base on this thing and just say that I definitely misspoke about the GECs if I, you know, misconstrued this thing as to being something other than, you know, me not liking it. I wanted to be fair and objective with the review on it as well, but I do have to go ahead and say, you know, add as a caveat that I do care about this knife quite a bit. I like it a lot, and I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks a lot for watching.